we all know producing steel does require a lot of energy, from mining to shaping to transporting and so on. FRP's embodied energy is a lot lower than that of steel. So to produce FRP, you don't consume that much energy. So that's the aspect number one of it being more ecological. Number two is over 95% of the product's content is made of post-consumer recycled glass, and that's a big plus also. It's also to mention that the fact that you use FRP, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Ahmed, but that might mean less concrete covering, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's an advantage also. It might also require some less materials like waterproofing and so on. Another question. This one is certainly for you, Dr. Ahmed. Reading it. It's a technical question. I'll read it for you.
Okay.
Can you explain why, in the design of shear connectors, you divided the shear span into two zones, even though it can be made as one zone due to the length of SFT connectors, which can fit with the length of the shear span?
Yes. Actually, I agree with a part of the question, and I cannot agree with the other part. But let us go to what I did here. Actually, as I mentioned here, I divided the shear span into two zones. I did that in order to know the efficient number, in order to decrease the number of the shear connectors. If you are going to make it as a one zone, you will have number of connectors that will be higher than the one I get from the design here. So you can try to calculate for one zone, but you will have higher number. So this is the reason I divided the zones into small zones in order to satisfy the shear demand for zone number one and zone number two. But actually in the market, you know, they are going to, they always, you know, taking the shear span as the one piece, you know. But this will provide the shear span with high number of shear connectors. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a matter of
it's a matter of what? Sorry.
It's a matter of economy. You know, you are economizing. You know you are in. You know, as we agreed with our customer, the building should be safe and economic. So in order to reduce the number, to reduce the cost, we need to split the shear span into two zones in order to minimize the number of shear connectors that will be used in the wall.
I guess it's a little bit hard to answer this question because our audience are joining from different parts of the world. So the steel prices are different in each region, let alone in the same country like we are in Canada, and I know that steel prices in the east is different than the west. But generally speaking, SFTec products are very competitive to steel. However, I feel that it is misleading to only compare the price of the product. Since if you use FRP, as I mentioned before, you can cut on the use of other materials. Like for example, if you take parking garages, using FRP instead of steel can eliminate installing the weatherproofing membrane and the asphalt, and that's it. So it basically translates to, in dollar value where we are to about $55 to $65 per square foot in saving. So there's also labor cost. As we mentioned, the FRP is about 4 times lighter than steel. So the laborer who's able to carry 4 bars in one trip of four bars of steel, all of a sudden is able to carry 16 bars or maybe even up to 20 bars of FRP in that same trip. So that can translate to additional saving of 25 to 30%. There's another aspect also, as we mentioned also before. FRP improves the longevity of the building, the durability of the building or the structure. So you can expect the structure to last 3 to 4 times longer. That basically also has a dollar value attached to it. So to tell you, okay, the steel price is X amount per ton, and the FRP is this much cheaper, I think it's a little bit misleading. We have to look at several aspects of it. So I hope if you have any questions, more detailed questions, you can always send us your plans. We can quote you for it. Dr. Ahmed can help you with the conversion. We can give you an estimate, and then we can compare based on your project, which is more cost effective for you. And in most cases that we've seen, our bars, SFTec bars, are turn out to be most of the time cheaper project to project. And that's not factoring in the long-term effects. It's just like project to project up to the point of delivering the project. Dr. Ahmed, I actually have a technical question. I have been in discussion with a client for the past week, and they are interested in the connectors. I believe also the client is participating in the presentation today, but they brought up the question of casting the concrete vertically. What do you think about that? Can the connectors handle the concrete pressure? What's your feedback, comments, advice on this method of building?
Yes, actually, Rick, this is very good question. You know, this kind of walls, the sandwich panels, is like the tilt-up wall panel. You know, you can cast them in place in order to adjust. You know, the spacing between the shear connectors. Vertically, you cannot guarantee the verticality of each thing. You know, in the wall, because you have a structural wise, you have a facade wise, you have a foam between this and that, and at this foam you will do some like you will have some accommodation, you know, for the GFRP connectors. So you cannot guarantee the verticality of the wall, but you can guarantee the wall to be well done if you are going to cast it in place in a horizontal position. So first you are going to place the facade wise, and after that you will put the connector with the foam, and after that you are going to cast the final face, which is the structural wise. So this is the procedure. It should be horizontally. It should be cast horizontally. Verticality, you cannot guarantee, you know, that everything will go well, because the pressure of the concrete can remove the GFRP connector from one place to another, or so it will not be good, you know.